welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
Good morning. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the NBA Bit. We're absolutely hooping now. Basketball's officially here. We had some fun last night, huh? Two awesome games. Playoffs are fun. I think we're all just excited. We got rid of the Heat. We got rid of the Grizzlies. We've got some insane competitive basketball happening. I don't think home court matters anymore. We had blown leads. We had insane stat lines. Excited to talk about all of it. We'll get ready for tonight's action as well. Just a couple of programming stuff at the top. Obviously, NBA Bit tomorrow and Thursday at 9 a.m. Hoop Sense is back tonight at 5 p.m. over on the Count the Dinks channel with me and Trey. And then the 89 Cavs, I'm assuming we'll have tomorrow or Thursday, so stay tuned for that. But woo, baby, we got to get into it now. I'll let the chat decide. You guys want to start with Celtics and Bing Bong Boys, or do you want to start with the late night action? I stayed up for the whole freaking thing. I stayed up for the whole thing, and then I couldn't even sleep. I was so wound up. Because it was fun. But yeah, you tell me in the chat, where do you guys want to start? Speaking of the chat, who do we got here? Common Man saying it's Chris Paul and Cliff Paul's birthday. Congrats. Happy birthday to the legends there. Matic Otto's here. DJP, Regulator, Victory Lapping Early. Stubbs in the chat. Jay Blaze, the Nets fans. East and West people are saying. Bowdevine's here. Let's go. Skip the Celtics as Regulator. Let's start with the East. Who Celtics, listen, who is it, Cher? If I could turn back time, right? That was the Celtics last night. We haven't seen the Celtics blow a 20-point lead in the playoffs in a while, so it's good to be back. Celtics, man, just a wild game. Looked like a very competitive first quarter, right? As we pull up some of the stats from last night. Celtics were up 1 at the end of the first, and then they kind of went nuts in the second quarter. Shots are falling, very aggressive, playing very, very good defense. Knicks all out of sorts. You had Karl Anthony Towns just slapping away, getting himself into foul trouble. Tibbs shut down Cat pretty quickly, and then we get some Mitchell Robinson. Maybe the unethical hooping of the Celtics of chucking threes and doing hack a Mitch Rob in the first half is why they lost this game. And then the third quarter, everything flipped, man. They outscored them 30-23 in the third. Or was it 21 or 23? 30-23 in the third, and then 25-16 in the fourth to close that gap. It was just like incredible stuff. And Mikal Bridges, who the stat line isn't going to look super impressive, but oh boy, in overtime, he was something, man. He was just out there, just blocking shots, stealing the ball, wrapping people up. He was great. Jalen Brunson did his fourth quarter stuff. I actually thought the Celtics defended Jalen Brunson pretty well. He finished the game with 29 points, 5 dimes, and 4 boards on 9 for 23 shooting. Hit some pretty big 3-point shots there in the third and fourth. But I'm not even mad at that. That is going to be the Brunson line. I think the biggest story of this game outside, credit the Knicks. That's why I want to start with them, because they had to make the shots and play the defense to get there. But the Celtics going freaking 15 for 60 from 3 is going to be the storyline. If you miss 45 threes, man, 45 threes, it's tough to kind of come back from that. There's going to be a lot of dialogue around that for the next couple of days. Tatum, if you just look at the right side of the box score, 23, 16, and 6 with 2 steals and a block, not too bad, right? 7 for 23 shooting. 9 of those misses, those 16 misses, I think, were all from 3. Porzingis had the runs, I think. I'm trying to figure out if they talked about what the illness was. Porzingis played 13 minutes in the first half, and then we didn't see him again. And that reared its head in the second half, I think. I think it allowed the Knicks to establish their defense a little bit, because they just had no inside threat, because the Celtics were settling for threes. And then that just got exacerbated by the fact that they just had no inside presence. Al Horford, I thought, played awesome defense. He kept getting switched on Brunson. Hey, by the way, at what point do we stop attacking Al Horford? Al Horford's incredible on the defensive end. They're doing switches and attacking Al. I don't get it. Hauser got hurt in this game too. I thought Pritchard had a good 24 minutes. I was kind of surprised we didn't see him more in the fourth. He had 13. Derek White, 19 and 11. The couple of things that I thought on the Celtics side that were pretty good. Drew Holiday and JB both looked pretty healthy. I thought Drew and Derek White were the only guys that did not have deer in headlights in the fourth quarter. And it's weird to talk about a team that won the title last year, that has an insane amount of playoff experience, to say deer in headlights, but that is what it looked like. Drew and White were the only ones flying around, seeming to be a little bit more aggressive. But to me, also, shout out Boston Base in the chat. I don't know if you guys saw it. He, I'm sure, will be on some photos. There was a great, I forget, was it an Al Dunk that he was in he had like great seats last night. So shout out Boston Base, who was in the Garden. But I think like, the thing that killed me in the fourth quarter, because listen, the Celtics are going to give up runs. The Knicks are a very good team. They're not going to get blown out. They're just not going to. But when the game got tight, the plays that burned me the most, like Tatum had this possession. I want to say there was like 2 minutes left in the game. I believe it was a tie game or a one possession game. Tatum has the ball kind of at the behind the 3-point line, off to the angle a little bit on the right side. And it's an open shot. All right. He misses an open three. I get it. I thought that shot was fine. Celtics did a great job rebounding. They get the offensive rebound. The ball gets back to him, and then he does nothing and then takes one of those step back threes and misses that one. End of the shot clock. Fine. Okay, fine. The one that killed me here is, I believe now we're like less than a minute left. Tie game. He's got Mitchell Robinson on him and then settles for the three. And I know Mitch Rob is a good defender, but man, if you've now missed 40 plus 3-pointers, you've set a record for missed threes. At some point, somebody attacked the fucking rim, right? And Karl Anthony Towns is in foul trouble this entire game. Mitch Rob, you've basically played off of the court, and for some reason, we're just not getting any sort of action on the rim. And some of that has to be credited to OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart, who defended their asses off last night, especially in the second half. But at the same time, you just can't. You gotta. I'd almost rather you miss something like not get the foul call, attack the rim. At some point, when you've missed that many threes, you got to do it. Brunson had I can't believe he missed that shot, high off the glass, little on the left side. I've seen him hit that shot like hundreds of times, right? At the buzzer, or with like a couple of seconds left, that would have secured the W. And then we go to overtime, and in overtime, they just had nothing. Celtics get outscored 8-5, but there was no was it Bridges hit a big three? I mean, the most impressive play was that last. So they go down 3 with 3 or 4 seconds left. They get the ball. They call timeout. They get a out of bounds play lined up. And then they can't get the ball in, so they have to call timeout again. This time they run a play for JB where they basically threw a Brady to Gronk pass that JB had to catch over his shoulder. That was a tough play. Mikal Bridges, kudos to him, just ties him up right away. And then they're not able to get a shot off as Bridges rips the ball away from JB. And that is it. And the Knicks steal game 1. And they got to feel good, man, especially because everybody was out here just being like, this team sucks. They barely got by Detroit. They don't have a shot in hell. I will stand by what I always say, is that you can't win in 5 if you don't lose 1. And I had Celtics in 5. I thought they were going to lose one of the first 2 games at home, because Boston loves to give away a home playoff game. But I thought it was going to be game 2, to be honest. I think like on the Celtics side of things, if you want to be glass half full, you're probably not going to miss 45 threes again, right? You're probably not going to do that. I wanted to pull up a couple of tweets. There was a bunch of insane stuff that I found. And some of it will make you feel better if you're a Celtics fan. Some of it will make you feel worse. Let's look at this one first. Cerrone Battle. Nope, that's Chris Forsberg. Weisberg will tell you he knows. Cerrone Battle here said, woke up thinking about this image. Celtics 1 2-point attempt the entire quarter. No, this isn't one guy. This is all 8 players that got burned in the third quarter. This was a game plan, and they were told to do this. First half, 25 twos, 20 free throws, 20-point lead. Second half, 7 twos, 6 free throws, blown 20-point lead. So the shot selection was that was something there in the second half, in the third quarter specifically. Now, Forsberg gave us some tracking information. Says NBA tracking scored 56 of Boston's 63-point attempts as open or better, which is 4+ feet of space from nearest defender. So 56 of 60 open or better. Celtics shot almost 30%, 7 for 24 on wide open threes, down from 40% on those shots in the regular season. Celtics shot 21 or 22% on open threes, down from 35%. So it's like the Celtics were getting good shots. It's not like those were bad shots, but, and I agree with Jaylen Brown here. I thought Jaylen Brown's assessment of this was really good. In those moments when the other team has momentum, we can't just fire up threes. And I think that was like my frustration is you're seeing the balls not going down and you don't want to completely abandon game plans, right? But the Knicks fans who there were, shout out to the Knicks fans because they traveled. They were in the Garden last night. But you could feel the momentum just being sucked out of there. And like you got to get to the line, slow things down, get to the free throw line, just see the ball go down, right? See, that's the Reggie Miller will say this on every freaking broadcast he's ever on. Don't let the cold shooter see the ball go in. And that, but honestly, they needed something like that. They needed to get to the line and they just weren't doing it. So again, I don't think it's like pure freakout mode. I don't think the Celtics are like, I don't think this all of a sudden means the Knicks are favored in this series, but Knicks did what they came to do, which is steal home court right there. They just needed to get one game of the first two. And now the pressure shifts all the way back to Boston because if Boston, they had all of the rest in the world. They had everybody saying that the Knicks can't defend. Then they hold Boston to 105 points. Now, again, some of that is defense, some of that is not. One thing to note for the Celtics, which I didn't expect this to be such a disparity, but the Celtics out rebounded the Knicks 59-49, and on the offensive glass 19-12. I thought Luke Cornett was very, very active. I need 7.7 boards and 30. Oh no, I'm sorry, 4 points and 5 boards in 17 minutes. That was Al who had a 7-7 line. But again, I'm assuming Porzingis was just pooping himself, and he's going to be back for. And pooping himself, like, physically pooping himself, not like James Harden in a closeout game. But I imagine Porzingis is going to be back with Holiday and JB's health looks good. But if you're the Knicks, man, you won that game without Karl Anthony Towns doing shit. Because, again, let's go back to Cat's stat line here, and some of that is foul trouble. In 31 minutes, he had 14 points and 13 boards. I thought and again, Cat, was just MIA for large stretches of this game. And this is now, we're into series 2 of Cat just doing the disappearing act. What's that magic movie with the illusionist? No, what's it with you know what I'm talking about, with the Social Network, bro, Jesse Eisenberg. Hey, aren't they making another one? I don't care. Who cares? Excuse me. But yeah, Cat was just MIA. I thought he had a really good putback in overtime that was really like a big momentum shifter there, where I forget who missed the shot, but he just kind of goes over the top, not over the back, but like over the top, tips it in. And that was kind of where it felt the game was curtains for the Knicks. But yeah, for them to steal that game without Cat having it, like, again, if you looked at this box score and you were like, Brunson 9 for 23, Cat 14 and 13, only played 31 minutes, you would have thought the Celtics won this one. Also, shout out Deuce McBride, who, wasn't getting a lot of burn in that Pistons series, couldn't shoot the ball to save his life. And in this game, off the bench, in an efficient 19 minutes, went 4 for 8 from the field, knocking down 3 threes, having 11 points, 2 boards, and a dime. I thought that was pretty important for them just to give some sort of spell. Mikal Bridges playing 51 minutes is crazy. 48 plus 5, 53? All right, so he played all of Now You See Me. That was the movie. Thank you, Regular. He played all but 2 minutes in this game. OG Anunoby played all but 5. Brunson and Hart both got a little bit of burn, and then Cat will be well rested for game 2. That is what we learned. But again, kudos to the Knicks. I don't want to take anything away from them. I think it was a pretty frustrating game as a Boston fan, just because excuse me, it felt like we had exercised the demons last year when they had won the title and kind of seemed to figure their shit out, and then to revert back to something we haven't seen in a while where it's just them blowing massive leads, right? I don't expect to see that in game 2. I imagine they rip off game 2 and game 3, and then all of a sudden we're not talking about blowing game 1 anymore. This is the second round. It's supposed to be more, blowing game 1. It's the second round. It's supposed to be more competitive. But Knicks, you open the door like that. We're about to talk about another series here in a second, but if you open the door like that, all it takes now, if somehow you blow game 2, now we're freaking out. Chris says Jaylen Brown doesn't look 100, right? I actually thought he looked a lot better last night than he did in the Orlando series, so I had some confidence in that because of I thought he looked way better than the Orlando series. So maybe still not 100%, but way better than I thought. And then and I thought Drew looked great. If anything, I thought Drew looked awesome, which made me feel a little All right, am I back? Can you guys see me now? That's so weird, especially because we're plugged in. I don't know why it's giving me bad Wi-Fi signal. Wow. Yeah, needed the tech support. Thank you. That was fun. Pretty sick for everybody. I like that we lost 10 viewers immediately because of that. We are so back, baby. So is Nez. Shout out Nez. I don't remember what I was saying. But good win for the Bing Bong boys. I'll see how tight the bums are. Oh, look at Stan. Stan waited. Honestly, Stan, I'm a little bit disappointed it took you 17 minutes to say something, I expect better from you. Oh, yeah, Drew was good. Yeah, I thought Drew was good. Let's go to the second game because, man, that was fun. That was a fun game. Also, I love everyone probably like, see, I told you. Okay, she didn't have enough playoff experience. She can't stay with the Nuggets. And that's what happened, man. One of the things that we had talked about a couple weeks ago, when we were saying like if the Clippers or Denver, whoever wins takes on OKC. If this game comes down to the wire and it's a couple of possession game, that the opposing team will have the advantage just based on execution, and that is what we saw last night. Denver out executed OKC down the stretch in crunch time, and I honestly. Mark Daigneault got out-coached by Mad TV and Nikola Jokic because the way that they went out and fouled and all of that stuff. Oh, wait, I love DJP. Wait, why aren't you on the Celtics side of things? This is my favorite thing that people were like, oh, Celtics don't need to panic. It's just game one. And then when OKC loses game one, they're like, they're frauds. But Chet missing 2 clutch free throws here down the stretch. Let's actually, I think I have the clip queued up. Yeah. Two clutch free throws. Let's share the screen. Let's just see the clip. You don't need me to explain it. Hold on. Ready? Here we go. Let's blow it up. Let's see the magic happen. 119, 118, 9.5 seconds left.
It rims out. Brown grabs it. 7 seconds left. Westbrook, 5 seconds. They're down by 1. Gordon got it. Aaron Gordon with a deep shot. Williams, 3/4 court, no good.
Incredible. Aaron Gordon, second game winner, man. It was incredible. Also, shout out Russell Westbrook. You want to talk about growth, baby? Everybody and their mother, when Russ got that in transition, was like, well, here comes a layup attempt, right? And instead he finds Aaron Gordon over on the wing, knocks it down. AG's second game winner. Let's look at some of the stat lines because Nikola Jokic, man, holy shit. Jokic with 42 points. He got to the line 13 times, knocking down 10 of them, 42, 22, and 6. And I like that the broadcast called this out. Not the broadcast, but the after show, the post-game show called this out. Nikola Jokic hits a big three, I think, with a couple of minutes left, and it was after missing 2 in a row. And I think he hit it over Hartenstein. And it was such a momentum shift because it felt like OKC had the game wrapped up in that moment. He knocks down that 3. All of a sudden, the doors open. And then OKC just panics a little bit with the fouling. Like, they weren't letting any time run off the clock. It was quick fouls by them. Just so that they were going 2 for 3, right? And that came back to bite him. I thought Jamal Murray looks great. I know he didn't shoot the ball well, 6 for 16, 2 for 7, but was comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't seem like he was being hounded the whole time. He had 21 and 6. Aaron Gordon, man, continues to be awesome. 22 and 14. He is a playoff riser, as the dorks like to say. And Russ was great, man. 18 off the bench. I know he took 5 threes and only hit 1, but he was good. But if you're OKC, again, I don't think you panic too aggressively, aggressively. But I think the points of concern that I would have, similarly to what we said about the Clippers series, when you start doing things like blowing a game like this, and now you have to win 5 games in this series instead of 4, because they should have won that one. So if you now have to win 5 instead of 4, against the best player in the world, your margin of error is now, it's razor thin now. And to lose this game at home with Alex Caruso doing what he did. Let's talk about Caruso. He played 26 minutes. He actually started for Hartenstein for the second half over him. He went 5 for 9 from 3, 20.6 dimes, 5 steals, and 2 blocks. He was awesome. So you have now flushed the Caruso game down the toilet, which makes me nervous for OKC heads. And the other thing that reared its ugly head was J-Dub. J-Dub 5 for 20 from the field, 2 for 9 from 3, 16 and 7 in this game. But man, I thought J-Dub had this take in the fourth quarter where it seemed like he did go gadget, or like what's the shit you get Fast and Furious, or Nas, all of a sudden you're like, right? That's what he just kind of went by somebody. I forget who went by, laid it in off the glass, got the bucket. I was like, man, why aren't you doing that? Just do that, man. But Chet and J-Dub combined here. Look at this combined here. 10 for 31 and then 2 for 12. It's just not going to be enough. Like, Shea was great, 12 for 26, got to the line 9 times, 33, 10, and 8. He was awesome. But this is the other thing I want to point out. They played too many guys. Right? So Caruso plays 26 minutes, Joe 13, Wiggins 14, Case and Wallace 21, Jay Will 3. No, this is something that we yell about with Rick Carlisle, although Carlisle actually proved to be fine in game 1. I don't trust a playoff team playing 9 or 10 guys. I just don't. I don't. And this was a close game the whole time. So there was no garbage time. And you had a 10-man rotation. You're supposed to be the best team in the league. And yes, depth is important. You know what depth is important in the playoffs? It's when you can play 7 guys instead of 5. It's not 10 instead of 7. That's too many guys. You're not a serious organization or you're not a serious team if that's what you're doing, I think. And I think those are the 2 adjustments Dagnall needs to make heading into game 2. Can't be freaking out about the fouling, and you can't. Wow, you guys can't. Speaking of Fast and the Furious, none of you saw this. It's a street cleaning today. There was a street cleaning truck that did Tokyo drift down 27th Street here. That was nuts. I like almost panicked the way that it was at like a 90-degree angle. Oh man, that was nuts. But anyways, Denver. And kudos to them, man. Coming off a 7-game series, a hard-fought series against the Clippers that were back and forth, and then goes out there and goes into OKC, big underdogs. I think they were both teams, I believe, were 9.5-point dogs heading into last night's game, and they win that one. And that was the game. Normally, after a team has a hard-fought series in the round before while the other team's resting, you're like, okay, they pumped this one. You go out there and you get game 2. Game 2 is the one you need. And now, same thing, man. Now, OKC, I don't think is going to get a J-Dub Chet game like that again. I don't. I think Chet, this is a bad matchup. J-Dub should be a little bit more aggressive and efficient, I think, in game 2. But same thing as Boston. If you go out there and you lose game 2, all of a sudden it's panic mode. And then similarly to Joel Embiid winning the MVP and then getting bounced in, what was it, round 2 against the Celtics, I think, that year. And then Jokic and Denver went on that run. I think that was that year, right? We might be in the same situation where they're going to announce, I think, is it tonight? They're announcing the MVP this week, right? They're going to announce the MVP, and it could be while the guy is dismantling that team. The Jokic stuff, can't stress that enough, man. He was so freaking good. The other thing that I noticed was the Nuggets did a really good job getting into the bonus early in the fourth quarter, and then Jokic just kept going to the line. Let's look at those free throw numbers. So they get to the line. How many? It was 27 for 33 from the line for OKC. Oh, no, that's for Denver. Denver only missed 6 free throws. They won 81%. OKC, on the other hand, 20 out of 28, 71%. So they won the free throw battle by 7 makes. And then Denver shot 10 for 32 from 3, while OKC shot 15 for 43 from 3. And then the rebounding, OKC had 43 boards, only 13 of them offensive. Look at this, 63 boards, 21 offensive. That is going to be, if OKC is not able to beat Denver with speed and athleticism, they are in trouble. Because I don't think, normally you would think this is a double big series, right? Because you have Jokic, you have Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., all these big dudes. You would think the Hartenstein Chet minutes would make more sense. Jokic is just too big and too strong, getting everybody into foul trouble. Also, kudos to Jokic for like, he got into foul trouble, played like the last 7 minutes, I think, with 5 fouls, and still was able to stay out there. There was also I hope Draymond Green was watching that game because I think there is something. I think there's something that Draymond can take away from what Jokic did. All right. So Lou Dort. Actually, let's give a Dort report video. All right. So I'm letting you know Dort report's about to happen. It's going to get loud. So turn your headphones down just for a little bit. So Jokic and Dort are like battling. They're bumping, and Dort's for sure fouling him a lot, like all the way up the court. And it's a late call by the official, and Jokic kind of does one of those swing the arms around, and he elbows Dort in the back of the head. And it was definitely an intentional elbow. I don't think he's trying to hurt Dort, of course. Dort goes down, rolls around, they review it. Jokic goes over to Dort before it's even called, like before they review it, to check in on him. Then they go to the booth. They come back. It's a flagrant. Jokic checks on him again. The self-awareness of understanding what he did was wrong. Thank you. That's what we do. That's how you handle that instead of just be a dumbass. Jared saying, I'm sick. I'm sad. I need a hug. I'm sorry, Jared. You were in the building for game 1, too. You were boots on the ground. It was I never thought, like, even as we were watching this game, the last 5 minutes, I was like, OKC won this game. Like, I know Denver. I was impressed. This felt like one of those moral victories. I was like, wow, I'm very impressed with Denver. They've kind of kept this a 6 to 12 point game the entire time. Every time they brought it down to a 4-point game or a 6-point game, OKC would go on a quick little run. It's back up to 12. They'd battle it back down. At no point did I think they were that they were actually going to win this game. And then Denver just out executed them. Dagnall, I really do think Dagnall got out coached. And if you told me Adelman, DA as they call him, was going to do it, I couldn't believe it. One other cool thing that I thought, I don't know if you guys saw, I don't have the clip saved, but Aaron Gordon talked to Stephanie Reddy, I think her last name is, after the game, right after the buzzer beater or the game winner, and he couldn't articulate what happened. He was just as surprised as everybody else, and so you could see him trying to process it in real time. It was really funny. Also, a really sweet thing that happened. Aaron Gordon's nephews, I think it was 2 boys, nephews were at the post-game press conference up with him on the booth, and I totally forgot that his brother died in a car accident. I believe it was last year or in the off season or something. It was brutal timing, or maybe it was in the postseason. I can't remember, but I thought that was a really sweet moment. So good win for Denver. Something about Denver being the 4 seed. I feel like people like to root against Denver typically. Something about them being the 4 seed this year, firing their coach. Jokic is now screaming. Also, do I have that bookmarked? Jokic yelling at his team is wild during these timeouts. I mean, again, anybody that was like, this dude hates basketball, he likes his horses more than basketball, you have to take that L. You have to take that L. The dude is intense. I'm excited. These series are awesome, man. One thing I wanted to do before we talk about tonight's games, because we got Pacers, Cleveland game 2, and then we also have game 1 of Minnesota and Golden State. So we've had 3 road teams get W's. Out of those 3 teams, of the Pacers, the Knicks, and the Nuggets so far, who do you think has the best chance of advancing to round 2? The best chance to advancing to round 2. I initially had Cavs in 7, so my lean is my lean is Pacers, just because I thought that it was a pretty thin margin. Now we've got, as we talk about Cleveland, Darius Garland is questionable tonight, and now there is real concern from some Cleveland beat reporters and Kenny Atkinson that both Mobley and DeAndre Hunter, both questionable tonight. So the Pacers could be out without 2 of their starters, the defensive player of the year, and then one of the big bench guys that I think is, I don't know. This could be a little concerning here. Sean's saying Knicks, Chris is saying Denver. It does seem like these series are all going to be pretty close, but if Cleveland is down 3 guys tonight, the Pacers have to win tonight. It's weird to say the team up 1-0 on the road. isn't a must win. But if they're down with those guys, it reminds me of like Houston playing Golden State without Jimmy Butler. You got to win that game. It's like a gift. Also, the next time people say the Celtics sleptwalk through the East, no one runs better with playoff injuries like the Pacers. If you remember last year, they got the Bucks without Giannis and Dame for a couple of games. I think Giannis for the whole series. Dame missed one. Then the Pacers took on the Knicks as soft tissue injuries were just falling from the sky in Madison Square Garden because Tibbs had played his guys 95 minutes a game. And then they like sleptwalked their way to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, round one, Dame's Achilles explodes after coming back from a blood clot. And now in round two, you had Garland miss one game. It sounds like Garland's trending towards playing tonight, but now potentially no Mobley and no Hunter. If I had to guess, I think Hunter sits, Mobley plays, Garland like 50-50. But man, Pacers didn't have Hallie though versus Boston? Yeah. Did he miss games? Did Hallie? Oh yeah, that's right. Is this Knicks Celtics a rivalry? No. I mean it is in the sense that the Red Sox and Yankees hate each other, so there's a rivalry in just some Northeast energy. But I don't think there's like Celtics and Knicks. I think have only had a handful of series over the time. The Knicks have sucked in the playoffs for like the last, 3 decades or something. So. Joker Rock says Denver with the experience has the best shot, but I would be extremely surprised if all 4 dogs move on. Yeah, I don't think so either. I wonder if Golden State does the same thing tonight. That's the second game. I believe Golden State and Minnesota are both healthy heading into tonight, or like on paper anyways. The two concerns Golden State have are Jimmy Butler and his butt to back, whatever he hurt in that game. It sounds like he's going to be dealing with some pain, and then Steph Curry with that thumb. But I think that is going to be a really fun game tonight. I'm very, again, all 4 of these series are so spicy. I think of the game ones we've seen so far, I don't know if no, the Wolves aren't dogs. Wolves are, I think the Wolves are favored, right? And they're the 6 seed versus the 7 seed. But I think the Pacers have the best chance of moving forward. I think I would rank them Pacers, Denver, Knicks. I still am not like, and again, I'll happily eat the crow. The Knicks deserve the W for game 1. They played better than Boston when it mattered the most. I still just, if the Knicks beat this Celtics team, then blow it up. Trade Jaylen Brown. The Celtics should not lose this series. They shouldn't. They've been so much better. The Knicks are not a serious playoff team. I mean, they are because they won the game and they're in the second round. But compared to what the Celtics roster is, like, I'm comfortable. I'll be comfortable saying blow it up. Stan's saying the Wolves are overrated. There he goes. Plants this flag. Yeah. So if Golden State wins tonight, I don't know the last time this has happened, if it's ever happened, but all 4 road teams would have won game 1. And then regularly said Ant-Man, if he looks a little off, the Warriors will win tonight. I believe they've defended Ant-Man well. I think this is going to be another important series for Rudy and Naz. I think that you think about the Warriors and playing small ball and all of the shooting. I think that's more of a thing of the past in the sense that I know Buddy hit 9 threes in that game, but shooting has been very hard to come by for Golden State recently. Like you need Moses Moody to knock down threes. You're going to need Podziemski to knock down threes. So if they're able to limit the Steph going nuclear and they aren't able to stretch the floor in their way, and that Rudy can actually stay on the court and do what he did against the Lakers, which again, Draymond, a much bigger foe than Rui Hachimura and LeBron defensively. I think they have a shot. Regular said, who guards Steph? I imagine they start with McDaniels, or maybe they put McDaniels on Butler, and then Ant-Man gets Steph to start. And then what they would probably do is when Nickeil Alexander-Walker comes in for Conley, would get the Steph assignment, would be my guess. I'm telling you right now, this is not going to be a Mike Conley series. A lot of lefties, though. Conley versus Podziemski. Which lefty rules them all? I think Naz Reid could have a pretty big impact. I wonder if the Warriors are able to use Quentin Post a little bit more because Naz Reid is out there. Naz Reid's not really going to like bang you down low on the post, and that's where Quentin Post gets posted. We've said post too many times. Yeah, and I'm not saying McDaniels or or anybody can stop Steph. I do think his thumb can stop Steph. I mean, Steph. It's hard. Well, I think we'll get a good feel for it tonight, how healthy he is, and then how good Houston's defense was. Like maybe Houston was just so insane defensively that they just couldn't figure out how to break him. or Steph's thumb is really bothering him, because he did not. I mean, he missed a lot of game 6 specifically. Steph missed a lot of open looks there that I think he normally hits. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm going to wait till we get the injury report for Cleveland tonight. If Cleveland has their guys, I'm taking Cleveland, and then that goes back to Indy 1-1. I think Minnesota wins tonight, though, at home. Sean says Steph will score his points, but I don't know that anyone else for the Warriors will be able to get much. Yeah, I mean, like, if Jimmy needs to do Jimmy stuff, if Jimmy's 100%, I forgot we get Jimmy revenge against the Timberwolves. Also, did we talk about Russ revenge? Russ going through the Clippers' former team and then goes back to OKC, gets a W? Man, I almost wish Houston won that series, and then we'd get Denver-Houston in the conference finals, and they'll let the revenge tour continue. And then we'd only need the Wizards in the championship so that he could complete, because that's the only Eastern Conference team I think he's played for, right? Regulators said the Cavs are in real trouble. Pacers will win tonight. Yeah, I got to wait to see the injury report. I think if they have Garland back, if they get the whole gang back, I'm not going to freak out. Yeah, let's look at the odds tonight. Let's see in the schedule. We can actually just look at the full schedule for the upcoming week here. Let's go look at what we got. So tonight, the Cavs are favored by 8.5. So Vegas thinks all the Cavs are playing tonight. Vegas thinks they got them. And then for Golden State, they've got Timberwolves favored by 6.5. Look at these cheap ticket prices. Go to the game. And then, okay, so then are we just playing every other game, every other day, the whole series? No, not the whole time. All right. So then Wednesday, we get the game 2s of what we saw last night. They already have Celtics favored by 10.5 and OKC favored by 11.5. Jesus. And then Thursday, just one game. And then Friday, we'll have 2. Saturday, we'll have 2. Sunday, 2. So, man, second round, picking up the pace. This is awesome. I know my team lost last night, and I do not give a shit. I mean, I give a shit. I'm just excited. I love playoff basketball. This is the best. Man. Wolves Warriors play every other day until after game 5, I believe. All right, Sean, there you go. I don't know. You guys have anything else that we need to hit before we start to wrap up? I don't know if you guys saw the video of Popovich. I feel like I didn't talk about Pop at the beginning of the week because it happened over the weekend, but Pop obviously stepped down permanently as head coach. He moved into president of basketball ops. They had, you can see he's definitely like still battling the elements of suffering a stroke. I believe it was a stroke, right? But they were there. Like a lot of former players were there too, which I thought was really cool. Like DeJounte, well, not just like Manu Ginobili and Tim Duncan, but DeJounte Murray was there too, who's, not on the Spurs anymore. I thought that was like a really nice touch. So they introduced him as El Jefe. He obviously still has his sense of humor there, which was, I don't know, good to see. But hope he gets well soon and is still able to contribute to the Spurs. So that happened yesterday. What else happened yesterday? We had, I don't know if I said this at top. I watched the Celtics Knicks game out because we had some event we had to go to, and then we watched the game out because we weren't going to be able to get back home in time. And it was, I'm telling you, man, there's something special about New York when there are teams in the playoffs. Like the vibes are just good in New York. They were freaking out in the first half, but it was hard to be mad at him. And Brunson was hitting so many tough shots there towards the end. He's just so damn good, man. Brunson is so damn good. King Clutch, or whatever the hell they call him. But it was fun to watch that game live. All right, people are talking about is Spurs. Are they going to make any moves? I don't know. I think Simmons and Russillo talked a lot about this. That maybe they just a lot of these teams take a patient approach, and you don't have to rip the Band-Aid off yet. So we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, Kenny Atkinson, Coach of the Year. That was my pick, baby. We did pretty good with the picks so far, I think. I don't think what's the only one we got wrong? Defensive Player of the Year, I think that's the only one we got wrong. The other crazy thing, our guy Zach Cherry was on the Zach Lowe podcast. Sick. Worlds colliding, baby. Severance. Dylan G. Yeah, well, you did. The Knicks fans traveled. The Knicks fans traveled. They did. So were the celebs out? Was Ben Stiller and Timothy Chalamet there? All right, let's do a little quick content corner, and then we'll get out of here a little early. I'm hurting, guys. These late night games on the East Coast is killing me. The Rehearsal on HBO is insane. Nathan Fielder is an insane person. If you're not watching it, it's bonkers, but it's great. Mobland's great. I'm enjoying Mobland. I think I'm one episode behind on the studio and Friends and Neighbors. I think that's it. Last of Us, I watched that. Joker Rock saying I could be it could be a relatively quiet offseason and a crazy trade deadline. Yeah, maybe. At what time do they finish for you? I went to bed last night at 1:15 a.m., I think. 1:15 in the morning. I think the game ended at like 12:45, but my heart was racing after Aaron Gordon knocked that down, you know? Tomorrow morning, I think we should be still up at 9 a.m. There's a chance I send out a message tomorrow being like, hey, we're going to do it at noon instead. I don't think I'm going to do that, but just keep that in mind. Only your old man hoops tonight, 40 and over, baby. Lower East Side. 9:15 start time tonight, which is disgusting. 9:15 basketball start time, which means I'm probably not home until 11:30. So we'll see where I'm at emotionally when I get home. But the battle of the undefeateds tonight. Gonna be a fun one. But yeah, tune into we'll do Hoop Sense a little bit later today at 5:00. Yeah, Manicato. I don't want to, they're figuring this shit out, Manicato. I don't want to talk about it on stream. Everybody just needs to relax a little bit, whether it's bong rips or not. Everybody needs to relax. Let's see. I think that's it, though. I'm sure we'll have some playback games tonight. Good luck to you fans of teams tonight. Let's just call it now. We're gonna say Pacers and Wolves. Yeah, I agree, Joker Rock. It is insane. 9:15 is way too late. It's way too late. I think that's my only 9:15 game this season, but gonna be a fun one. Let's join some Splash Sports. Join some Splash Sports. I'm gonna drop a link. We got 2 contests tonight. I know our guy Stubbs had a nice run last night. I think Stubbs had a nice run last night. But we get the single entry $25. We get the $5 big boy that we normally do. Let's refer a friend if you want to come hang out. I did it again. Come join over here on Splashy Sports. I've been on a heater on the non-team hold contest. I've been cooking over there. But yeah, come hang out. All right, dudes, let's call it there. I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. Get a nap in if you can. It looks like the rain finally stopped, so I'm going to go inside. I'm going to try to get a run in to do something athletic, Celtics, figure your shit out, man. Maybe drive to the rack. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We out, skis.